Our kababayans are looking forward to watching films on the big screen again. Movie theaters will reopen in the capital region after more than a year and a half. We now speak with Charmaine Bauzon from the Cinema Exhibitors Association of the Philippines. Charmaine, thank you so much for joining us. I am ready to buy my movie ticket this coming Saturday, first screening in a Makati cinema. Will it be open?
Well, Rico, first of all, good evening. I think you have to hold your horses for a while.
Okay.
We won't be opening just yet this Saturday. I know everyone's very excited, and so are we. But since learning that finally the IATF has allowed our cinemas to reopen, we need to mobilize a lot of things and to make sure that when you do come and watch, it will be an experience that's truly worthwhile.
Absolutely. But tell us, Charmaine, what are the health protocols for moviegoers that the cinema groups are putting in place before we can enter the theater?
Okay, so of course, again, in line with IATF guidelines, and this we're all used to this already. Prior to opening, there has to be the mandatory checks on your temperature. Make sure that you fill up the contact tracing form. And then now, because as part of the guidelines, at 30% capacity, only fully vaccinated people can come in. So we also need to check your vaccination card to make sure that you are in fact fully vaccinated. And when you enter the cinemas, again, in line with the 30% capacity, then you'll be seated at least one seat apart. And then you have to have your face mask on the whole time. And initially for this round, no eating first in the cinemas.
Will the staff, the cinema staff, also be fully vaccinated?
Yes, that is. Because again, we've waited for more than a year for this. We want to make sure that we really ensure the safety of everyone, not just our patrons, but also our employees. So even all the employees will be fully vaccinated. And then on top of that, before and after each screening, we'll do a thorough cleaning and sanitation of the auditoriums to make sure that they're ready for the next batch of moviegoers.
So the big question now is, because you mentioned that a lot of stakeholders are involved with the opening of a cinema or a theater. Can you give us a date, Charmaine, when the movie theaters will actually open, and will this be in every city of Metro Manila?
Okay, so that one is what we're finalizing, Norbico, because the cinemas are just venues. And the important component is the content. So we've actually been closely coordinating with the distributors, the movie producers, as they finalize their lineup. So we need to now put that more definite timetable on that, on the exciting movies that are going to be offered soon. So and they will also need to also make their own preparations on which one to go first, second, etc. And then also, while we have these specific guidelines and protocols that we put in place, we also want to make sure that these are consistent and aligned with what the different LGUs will be also cascading to us. So the general guidelines I mentioned earlier, there may be some additional ones. So we want to make sure that we are also compliant with those. So we're just waiting to finalize all of those. And so to your question, if there's a definite date, what I can say is just please stay tuned. We will update you accordingly because, again, I know everyone's already very excited to see everyone in the movies.
But Charmaine, this alert level 3 is only for 2 weeks, October 16 to October 31. I mean, it takes so much, a lot of logistics to put all of this together. And then once you decide to open, it might just be a week and we have to shut down again because we may see again rising number of infections.
So that's why, Rico, again, we also don't want to, be very quick about this. That's why it's very critical that we ensure that safety. And you're right, the alert level 3 is only up to end of October. But looking at the numbers, and again, if every one of us continue to practice the health and safety protocols, then we are hoping and praying that this will continue on. And like you said, no, once we open, there's no turning back. We hope that this will continue on until Christmas and even into next year.
Well, that is really the hope. No? Everyone is keeping their fingers crossed that we will see a continuity in the opening of the cinema industry. And of course, since it locked down in mid-March of 2020, revenue losses is estimated at 21 billion pesos and 7,000 workers lost their jobs. Will these 7,000 workers be able to get their jobs back, Charmaine?
Maybe not all, Rico, because after 18 months, I'm sure some of them or many of them have actually looked for other job opportunities. And the 7,000, Rico, is really just those in the exhibition. The entire film industry it is about more than 300,000 affected workers from the movie production down to the distributors and then us, the exhibitors.
And of course, the big question is, will our kababayans actually go back to the cinema? Because now people, Charmaine, are getting used to staying in their homes, watching their movies on their smartphones, TVs, and even on their phones.
Ever since those streaming platforms came on board, of course, we got worried. No? But, nothing really beats watching movies on the big screen. It's a different kind of experience that can never be replicated when you watch on your smartphone, even on your laptop. Just to mention the lineup that's very exciting, that can only be truly experienced on the big screen.
Can you give us a sneak peek? Can you give us a sneak peek of what these movies will be from Hollywood or from Philippine film producers?
Well,
a sneak peek.
So, for example, there's No Time to Die by the James Bond movie. There's Dune, it's a science fiction film. And then you have several Marvel movies like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Venom, Eternals. There's Resident Evil. And I think latter part of the year, there's Matrix, Spider-Man. And then in December, we missed the Metro Manila Film Festival.
Wow, that is really exciting. These kinds of movies can only be watched on the big screen. Thank you so much for joining us, Charmaine Bauzon, President of the Cinema Exhibitors Association of the Philippines.